What's up, everybody? It is Dusti Martin with Corcoran Platinum Living. I am back with your monthly market update for the towns of Cave Creek and Carefree. Let's get right into it. All right, so our active listings are down 75.7% over this time last year. We only have 64 listings between both Cave Creek and Carefree. That's not a lot. Our sold listings are actually up 0.9%. So you're probably asking, wait a minute, if listings are down, how are sold listings up? And it's because more homes are actually coming on the market, just not enough to satiate actual demand in relation to this time last year. So things are actually going off the market faster than we can get them on the market. So last month we sold 111 homes, almost double our active listings. So keep that in mind. Our median sale price per square foot is up 19.8% over this time last year. We're sitting at $270.19 on average is our median price per square foot. So keep that in mind. Then we get down to our months of supply. Our months of supply is down 75.9%. And this time last year, we didn't have a whole lot of inventory anyway. Now cut it by 3/4. So that's kind of where we're at now. We are sitting at 0.58 months of supply, meaning just over 2 weeks worth of inventory here in Cave Creek and Carefree. And then our median days on market is down 43.5%. And we are currently sitting at about a median day on market count of 26 days. That means people are rushing through to try to close early to make sellers happy, but then there's also a lot of cash coming into our market from all over. So with those two things combined, our median days on market is just under 30 days. So 26 days, that tells me a lot of cash, which tend to close in about 10 to 15 days, or people trying to rush their appraisals and their loans through to close in 3 weeks to make sellers happy to try to compete with those cash offers. So let's move over to our months of supply by price point. This is what you want to pay attention to if you're buying or selling, right? Because not all price points are going to be the same as the average, right? So we get over here, like I said, we're at 0.58 months of supply overall for all property types, prices, the whole 9 yards, just over 2 weeks of supply. But then we had no new listings come on the market from 0 to 300,000 this past month, and therefore we had no sales. So therefore we couldn't calculate anything. Now, keep it in mind here that as prices start to trend up, we are going to see less and less data available for those lower price points simply because they don't exist anymore. So keep that in mind. So there is no data, mostly because nothing has been priced under these price points, even in the condo, townhome type listings, right? So then we look at the 300 to 500,000. That's the first shot of any real data this month. And we are at 0.15 months of supply. That's not even a week. We are down to days worth of inventory in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range. Then we get the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, and we're at 0.21 months, meaning less than a quarter of a month, still less than a week. You're probably looking at 5 or 6 days there, right? So then we get to the $700,000 to $1 million price point, and you might want to pay attention to this. We are at 0.34, less than 2 weeks of supply for basically anything under $1 million. 700 to $1 million, you're at 0.34, a third, just over a week's worth of supply, not even 2 weeks, right? That is a great place to be. If you've been sitting on a luxury property that you've been thinking about selling, now is probably the time. It's very hard to get any closer to true zero when you're looking at supply and demand. A true zero, and I don't mean no data, I mean like when you divide the numbers, you actually get zero. That's as hot as it can get, right? Then we go to the $1 to $3 million price range, and this is bananas. You are at 1.09 months of supply. So like 4 weeks and a day or two, maybe. That is a really, really great place to be for the luxury market. And it is hard to get homes in that price range to be this close to no supply to satiate the demand. It is historical. It is a new precedent. It is something we have not seen before almost ever. So you might want to keep that in mind. But then we get to the $3 million and over price range, and we are at 9 months of supply, meaning we had 9 of those homes in Cave Creek and or Carefree that were priced over $3 million. 1 of them sold, so that puts us at 9 months. That is actually inside a buyer's market. Keep in mind, anything 8 months or more is technically a buyer's market. Now, we are not seeing the crazy white hot demand that, like, say, Paradise Valley and Scottsdale are seeing in this price range, mostly because we are so much further out and away. And so therefore, people tend to look in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley and Phoenix and North Phoenix primarily before they start working their way out. So if you have one of those homes that are priced over $3 million in Cave Creek or Carefree, I'm not saying it's a bad time to sell. It's better than this time last year where there were 8 homes on the market and none of them sold. And our $1 to $3 million price point last year was at 11.3 months of supply, so almost a year. So we've had a really great shift. We're just still stuck in that buyer's market for the super high-end luxury market. But what I would do is make sure, if you are thinking of selling one of those homes, make sure it is the prettiest girl on the block. You want it to be the prettiest house for the prettiest price, if you catch my drift. If you're wondering what your home might sell for in today's market and what to expect and what would get you top dollar, give me a call at 480-717-9405 or jump onto my website and get a quick, free, no hassle home valuation at DustiMartinRealtor.com.